Hello, good evening, it's me again. It's Monday, guess what? It's July. Not so flaming July, it is like a small monsoon here tonight in Orkney. My name's Miriam. I work with Enyo UK. If you've stumbled across me, then I work with an amazing company called Enyo UK, and we are all about trying to save you time. We're looking after your health. We are giving you amazing results that you're going to see tonight. We're completely environmental. All of our products are recycled. Everything is made with green electric. And tonight we're going to look at some extreme kitchen nastiness, which I've been saving specially for you. So it is fantastic to see you, and thank you very much for coming along. And what can you expect tonight? Well, here we are on the trusty high-tech board. We have tonight, we're just going to talk about those extreme areas that we have to clean in the kitchen. So we're going to look at the use of our helpers, and we are going to do some cleaning of stuff that I've just left here. We've just had roast dinner and we were a little late, and so it's rather special, especially for you. So it's lovely to have you along. Hello Bev and Janice and people that I've seen there. Hi from Australia, lovely to see you, Chris, at both ends of the day. And first of all, I don't know if you've noticed, but this month it is self-care month. That's what Enyo are looking at. And self-care is all sorts of things, isn't it? So lots of us have been decluttering since lockdown, because we've all had our pants that we can roll in a special fashion as a Marie Kondo. But today is all about gratitude. And so I would love you to tell me today. I usually ask you what Enyo you've been using, but it's a curveball. Today, I would like you to tell me, what are you grateful for today? All right, I'm going to kick us off. I am really grateful today for, well, I'm grateful that it is raining, because we've just laid grass seed. And so apart from the fact that the birds have been eating it like it is going out of fashion, and they are all now about 6 stone overweight because they can't get off the ground because they're full of our grass seed, I am so grateful today that it is raining. We don't have to water it. It's looking after all our lovely plants. So it's one thing I'm grateful for today. I would love you, tippy tappy on the keyboard, and tell me one thing that you are grateful for today. And do you know what? When our hearts are full of gratitude and thankfulness, then there's something that happens inside us, right? And we just kind of start breathing in that optimism and positivity, and oh, it just feels so much better. So I know you're a little behind me on the phone, on the camera, but tell me one thing that you're grateful for. It can be anything. I was really grateful this morning that my husband bought me a lovely cup of tea in bed. That was nice. Right, so I am also going to ask you what Enyo you've been using, and we have been using that brand new kitchen bathroom sponge, which we have loved. It's been fantastic. So we've been using that to our heart's content, but we are today going to talk about the kitchen, while you're still going to tell me about your thankfulness and gratefulness and gratitude. Right, so you know that we have an amazing kitchen zone pack. And the reason why we put things into packs is because it gives you the essentials to clean this area for the next 3 years to use Enyo. So this is not every product that Enyo do, but these are the core products that you need, okay? So this gives you that deep pore Enyo-Tex fibre, and remember, you can't use one glove in every area because all the fibres are made differently. It's like having different pairs of shoes. My husband says I have too many pairs of shoes, but it is like having a pair of shoes to go bowling with, a pair of shoes to go shopping with, a pair of shoes to go down the woods. Okay, I'm grateful for you too, Diane. Aw, makes my heart glad. Thank you very much. Oh, Christine, grateful for the birds. Beautiful. Wow, fantastic. You are one early bird right there. So these fibres here in the kitchen are specifically made to deal with grease and grime. And we have two sides to that glove. And if you've never seen it, pop onto YouTube to my kitchen demo and you will see how this holds the butter in the glove and it doesn't transfer. But we're not going to do all of that today. We're going to go much deeper because I have been saving for you all those lovely things that, well, usually that I clean before my mother starts to visit. So I've got some, the lighting's a bit tricky in here, so I've employed Emily, all right, to come and hold the light for me so that we can I'm grateful for modern technology too. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, Chris, what we have? Kitchen glove. Isn't it awesome, Donna? I just love it. Right, now, I'm hoping that you can see down here. You can probably see me and Emily now in the reflection. But this is the sort of grottiness that we get. And it's amazing what our glove can take off. All right, so I might start with the greasy side if I had something that was just greasy. Karen Nicholson, I know you've come along to see if you actually have to go and clean the top of your cupboards. Not for at least another year. You'll be fine. Okay, so, grateful for walk. Isn't it amazing? Right, so then you can see that I've got the grease stuck in the glove there. That's just because I've just made lamb chops for tea. They were so tasty. Right, and I can use the other side of the glove, and that will go a little bit deeper. But on my stove, I have to say, we are forever boiling things over, and that picture that you've seen on my Facebook page and my daughter Emily actually did think was our oven, then it does look like our oven, because ours frequently looks like that. And so remember, with Enyo, the darker the fibre, the deeper the clean, okay? And so this fibre here is going to be a deeper clean than this one here. This one is specifically made to pick up grease, and this one, all those little fibrey bits, get in even deeper. And so on my stove, where it is all stuck on, then I can get in a little bit deeper yet. But still, to be honest, there is still residue left on here. So what do I do next? Well, there are a couple of choices. First of all, if it is greasy stickiness, then we need to use this Supersonic bad boy here. This is Enyo's washing up liquid. Not washing up liquid like you go and buy down in the local shop. This is a powerful degreaser. So I don't want you to focus on the name washing up liquid. That's a little bit misleading. This is about not giving you oodles of froth when you do the washing up. That's just sodium lauryl sulfate anyway. That's just a nasty chemical that you don't want. This is a degreaser that's going to allow your Enyo fibres to have uber power to get through and deal with the really greasiness. So things like the top of the cupboards that you only do when you're moving house, because you can't believe the shame of what someone else is going to talk about you when they move in. Okay. Also, for things that are stuck and sticky on there, and also, if I take you around here, in the bottom of my oven. So here, all right, all of this area, we've just had, as I said, we've just had roast dinner, and this bit is covered in all the fat. You can see the streaks that have come down since we have been roasting. And that is also on the bottom of my oven. Oh, Emily, you're so good. I think you should have a career in filmmaking. Well done you. Thank you very much. Right. So you can probably see the greasiness quite accurately here now. Now a lot of that, remember, is just going to disappear with my Supersonic glove. So, and if it is dirty, the dirtier it is, the more water you need, and, bizarrely, the colder the water. That's so counterintuitive, isn't it? About how we've been told to clean for years. So the dirtier it is, the colder the water and the more you need. First of all, if something is really stuck, you can take this glove, make it really wet and cold, and just lay it over the area that's particularly bad. So I might do that, for instance, in the bottom of my oven. All right, so I may make this glove really wet, really, by running it under the tap, and then I would just lay it on it, and those fibres will then start to lift up the dirt, and you will find it so much easier to clean. All right, so that's my first tip of the day. But it's amazing just when you leave it on and the cold water, how much that starts to ease up. However, All right, look at that, suitable bit of mank. I do have to say, this fibre and marble paste, so that is the crush marble helper that Enyo have, is amazingly effective. And also, oh look, I've put that on in a pingy way, right. And also, I would say it is still worth investing in a mechanical scraper, all right? See one of those? The advantage is it's chemical free. So if you have something really stuck on the bottom of your oven, let's see if I can take you right down here, all right, where I've got some really, really hard bits, I've left this specially for you, you know. Don't do this for anybody. All right, so right down here, you can probably see that my scraper is starting to lift up that fat, all right, because we're quite manky and I don't do this all the time. If I wipe down my oven, if you can just move back there, sweetheart. If I clean my oven every time, right, it wouldn't be necessary. However, I don't. And so if you have a look, that's what my scraper will pick up. But remember, a scraper can only clean across the way because the blade is flat. And the reason why we all love Enyo is because it's a deep pour clean. And so after I've done the scraper, that is where I then go back in on the dirt that I've loosened with my sponge, my marble paste, just a little bit, and the more attrition you want out of your marble paste, the drier it needs to be. All right, and then into my oven, circular motion, and that will start to lift up all of that grottiness. So I've loosened it off already with the fibre that was laying over it, and then little circular motions. If you can't trust yourself because you've been used to using a Brillo pad all your life, all right, just use the other hand, and that will mean that you don't put on too much pressure. Remember, you need to, so you can see all the residue in there, you need to flip it over, pick off the worst of it, you can see that in there, and then I need to still dry behind with my Enyo fill. So I know it's really tricky, folk, to see, but if you can, this little bit that I've done down here is remarkably better to anything else. Right, Emily. Thank you, my sweet. So the joy of marble paste is that it doesn't damage surfaces. And so I can use that quite happily on my oven down here. Again, using my sponge. And I would always do my marble paste work last because when we've all shown you the butter test, we know that the butter stays stuck in the glove and it doesn't transfer from surface to surface, but marble paste is something that we're putting on. And so by that very nature, it's something that's on the glove, and then therefore, if I did this on here, the marble paste would transfer. So you would always do your marble paste work last, but this will just pick up the residue that's been sitting on my glass for a wee whiley. Right. And what's so amazing about Enyo is it just doesn't come back as quickly as possible. So who has the kitchen zone and who likes it? I know, Michelle, that you were saying that you haven't been using Enyo for a while, but you've just started reusing it again. I think the kitchen one, I remember coming and doing that in your house, and it was just such an amazing transformation. Yes, the changing hands really works, Christine. That really enables us to go it just takes off that pressure because we've been taught, haven't we, on really stubborn dirt have to lose a little bit of elbow grease. But you can see that's still going to dry away for us streak free. I love the kitchen zone. Yeah, me too, Kathleen. I just think it's one of the absolute winners, and you can see there the dirt is in the sponge. Now I can go and rinse that out really easily, and it's time to go again. Sometimes I use on my oven a mixture of the soap and also my marble paste. So this one is all about attrition. It's all about where there's carbonation and things are built up, but this one is all about greasiness. So I I've been saving some places for you so that we can see it in action. All right, now, my extractor hood, you're going to have to stand about there, sweetheart, thank you. My extractor hood is not plugged in yet, but imagine my delight when yesterday I went up the top of my oven and I saw up here, ooh, I can't quite see you, there we go. Now, this is like you cleaning the top of your cupboards. So can you see up here, we've got a really, really sticky light switch. Now that's like you cleaning the top of your cupboards, but guess what? When my lovely husband built my kitchen, I said, I don't care what you do, but I want no top of the cupboard because it's something else to clean, so he boxed them all in. Clever Michael. Right, so this one here, now I'm using the grease side. I'm not pushing hard, but if the grease was harder, now I'm wondering why I haven't done it, because that was a breeze. Right, if you have a look, you can see the greasiness stuck in the glove right here. Now that won't transfer, and if it had been a bit stickier, then what I would have done is I would have used a little bit of our soap, and that would have helped just combat it. And then I just need to dry it behind. Easy peasy. That's the job done for 12 months. Right, however, let's talk about when it's really greasy and we can't seem to get that away. All right, that is where I would use with my Supersonic stuff a little bit on my glove, and then this just eases that greasiness, that way that it feels like chewing gum that you're going through, and it will be an ease after a couple of strokes, and then it will all lift up. So if that's the problem with your oven, if that's the problem with the top of your units, then all you need to do is a little bit of soap and that will work. If we go back to my hob, and where we're talking about scrubber, there we go. So here, if stuff's really baked on, don't have any problem. Just get a little scrape of this, and that, as I said, is just going to take off those really dull and burnt bits. It's just really old ceramic hob, right? It's really pitted. And that's just going to take off the worst of it. And then again, with my fantabulous, there we go, sponge, a little bit of marble paste, I can just work my way round. Again, if I had something that was burnt on, get Emily. She said, should we have custard tonight so that I can burn over milk? That's the sort of daughter that we're looking for. All right, so if we just go all the way over, the joy of this, like the ceramic scraper, it doesn't, like it's really, it's a fizzing, but it's really fine. I wouldn't want to use this on marble. We want to do a test patch because it's a bit like that light to light thing. All right. Sorry, Mum. My speech is breaking up. Right, so there we go. I don't need to push hard. And what I need to do is just enable my sponge there with a little bit of marble paste, and that will just work it. So some places I would be cautious with marble paste would be on real wood. I wouldn't use it on there, and I would be cautious if I am using it on marble. We want to do some sort of test because that's that like for like that you might do. Jill, all it is a ceramic scraper. They are cheap as chips from Amazon, and it's just really a razor blade in, and you can just undo it. Ooh, undo the bolt there with your thumbnail. All right, and that will just enable you to bring the blade down and keep it safe, and then you like this. Okay, so it's behind, and I can lock that up again, and then I can just undo it when it's when I'm ready to go again. Sorry, I think we've got some internet interference tonight, so that's why I might be a little bit jumpy. But you can see that there, Jill. It's just a ceramic scraper, ceramic glass scraper. That's all you need to look for. It's fantastic for all those burnt on bits on the top of your solid fuel stove. So you know how you get those bits on the top of your enamel, then it's fantastic for getting in those really hard bits when you've softened those off with your kitchen glove when your stove is completely off and cold. Okay, so I think that you might find that one really, really useful. So where else can we use our sponge? Let me take you over here. Right, Emily, you can probably pop that on the surface for me now, and I think that we should be okay. That would be great if you could. Thank you, darling. That's just brilliant. Righty-ho, thank you, sweetheart. Right, so let me take you down here. This is another place that we have loads of dirt, isn't it? It's like the top of our toaster, and inside all of those racks of bits and pieces. And on stainless steel is amazing. It's completely superb. I would have shown you on my cook hood, but it's not even, it's not plumbed in, so it doesn't get tarnish like other things do. So I'm just going to show you on my toaster. It has loads of tarnish because we use it all the time. Right, now I'm not near anything electric. I'm not quite sure what's going on Chris tonight, that. Maybe it's just my electric personality. Right, so if we have a little look on the top here, this is our old but trusty toaster that Michael hates. He has a row with it every day. But if you have stainless steel, who else uses their marble paste on stainless steel? I'm sure you must do. I just love it for this. It's so rewarding. Little movements, remember again, other hand if you're just pushing too hard. A little heavy-handed, and then I just flip that over and take off the excess and then remove that residue. Look at that. Sparklingly fantastic. All right, it's so easy to do these things, all right? And that's why Enyo is so fantastic, because easy peasy. What do you like on it? You really love it on your kitchen. I love it on there. I really love it on my sink too, to get rid of all of those marks. And if I just go and grab one, if you have a look at like the bottom of the plug hole, we are terrible. We just chuck all our tea down there. And so I love it on the kitchen sink there. It's just superb, isn't it? But the sponge even, and that's only got a tiny residue now of the marble paste on, but just even the sponge on its own will get into all of those bits and pieces and literally get in and remove the residue. So have a little look-see now. Shiny, shiny, ringy. And because, remember the way that Enyo works, and because it's that deep pour clean that's putting out the dirt, and because when we've put the marble paste on here and we've taken up the stainless steel, because we have the residue that a chemical would have, there's nothing to stick. And I know you Enyo users can testify to this, but it really does stay clean longer. So my oven, even though there's a bit of grot in the very bottom of it, the build-up is nothing to what it used to be when I use a chemical, because the chemical would bond to the dirt and the build-up became more and more and more, and I was drinking in all those toxic fumes. So what we can say is, for really grotty areas, first of all, get your sponge into action, all right? And this one is fantastic with Enyo's helpers. So if it's about tarnish, if it's about stuff that's stuck on, like on my cooker or inside the oven, then it's going to be my marble paste. And if it's uber greasy, and it's my washing up liquid. Sorry, I can see I'm a little bit glitchy at this end too. So this super zone here, 3 years, 66p a week. And I think really to get the very best out of your kitchen zone, it's really worth adding in your helpers. What did you, oh, the kettle and the toaster. Oh, it's so amazing, isn't it? I've just got our kettle here, in fact, because it is completely lousy at the moment. And that's just been waiting for me to have a kitchen demo. So here we are. No, hopefully a little bit of sound now. Let's just see what we can do. So you may find I might come back. I might not, you lucky people. But a little bit on the kettle there. Again, you must make sure that when you clean all these things, you can't hear me now? Miserable. Right, let's see if I might come back into life again or not. We may find that we are sound free. Sign language. Now that would be a little bit better, hopefully, for you. That may or may not be working, but what you can see is a lot of rain. That might work. Can you hear me yet? Or am I still zipped? Who'd know? So, if you can hear me, I would really encourage you to learn a little bit more about kitchen, get the marble paste into action, all sorts of places. Can you hear me yet? You may not be able to, you lucky people. Thank you very much, Anne. That is super. So, you can see just there on the kettle, beautiful in action, all is well. So that's good news. And I think we should go maybe while the going is good. And I'm back. Woo-hoo. Break up a bit. Oh, what a stromness doing to me tonight. Right, I'm going to tell you about 2 special offers that we have for this month while you can still hear me. Right, first of all, we spoke right at the beginning about this being self-care month. and we want to look after you and pamper you, and what we now need to do is have a little look after our skin. So this is our amazing pamper kit that is available for this month. Cost of the items is 52 and for you is 39. So you have 2 eye pads, an amazing little exfoliator pad for your face, and also a face duo glove. And we're going to be talking about skincare as we go on. Right, and then the other one is a host special. So if you haven't got yourself a flexi set yet, oh, I love this. Goes on your floor system as well, then now might be the time. It's if you host a little get together, then you can get this for as little as £49. So that might be worth a consideration. And hopefully you can hear me now. Remember, we still have masks available in 2 sizes. So we have a smaller one with ties, and we also have a standard one with elastic and an amazing clip that just takes all the pressure off your ears. If you want those, the details are on my page. And please just get in touch. I'm sorry we've had a struggle with sound tonight. Some people would pay not to be able to hear me, let me tell you. But I hope that you've got the main points of what we've looked at tonight. You can always ping me a message and ask me questions. I hope you have a really good week, everybody, and I really look forward to seeing you next Monday, and thank you so much for joining me.